Sometimes even most of us took a day off and said, let me just go home and wait for them. But when they came, what did they like? Did you expect what you expected? They came so excited, right? Mommy, tomorrow is also school day. But you are there worried for them. And that's the beauty of our children. They keep growing. But today, above all, we are not only celebrating the graduation, we are not only celebrating the gowns, we're not only celebrating the certificates that they will receive. Today, I want us to celebrate the unseen moments. You see those moments when they come home, the lost water bottles, the lunch boxes that they keep on reminding you every morning, those projects on Sunday evening that you have to do them because they cannot go without that project. Those unseen moments is what I want us to celebrate today. And to all the parents, I congratulate you because out of today is what we have ensured that we have, at least our kids have grown. A round of applause to all parents. Looking back, yeah? Now it's story time. I remember my first time when I graduated. Who can guess how old I was? How old was I? Yes? Yes? 10. Okay, another one. The first time I graduated? Yes? 5 years? Another one? Last one. Parents, yeah, okay, yes? 7 years? Do you know the first time I graduated was when? When I was 24 years. 24 years is when I graduated the first time. And I was sitting there and just admiring. I was looking so much forward when I graduated that day. You know, the first day I did makeup. I told my late dad I want a new dress. But these kids have to, like, experiencing the first time they are hitting that milestone at the age of 5, 6, or 7 years. Isn't it that beautiful? Isn't it that beautiful? Come on, those who we graduated when we finished campus, we know we are admiring them. I know half of us maybe graduated when they were 5 and depending on the school we went to, but some of us did graduate the first time when we hit campus. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And today, most of you, like, you were asked the question that you will remember. Most of you are remembering the lunch. Most of you remember the lunches. There's someone who commented there, the chips. But these kids will always remember the love. How many people came to celebrate them? So as parents, take as many photos as you can today, so that at least when they look back, they can say, this mommy and daddy came for my first graduation. I was wearing this and this. And that moment there, they will never ever forget. I'll tell you another story, yeah? Like I've mentioned, I'm a finance and investment educator, and I have a company called Japesh, which is a sister company called Japesh Campus. So for Japesh Campus, what we do, we train our kids on financial literacy and entrepreneurship. So now in this class, it was an entrepreneurship class. So I got in, some of the kids had already done our previous financial literacy class, so they were well acquainted with money conversations. So I asked the class, if I gave you 100 shillings, what would you do with it? And one sharp boy lifted up their hand and said, Miss Jane, I will buy sweets and then I sell to kids because children love sweets and candies. Before he finished that statement, another bright girl lifted up her hand and said, Miss Jane, I will buy a lot of pencils because everyone needs pencils to write. I just laughed. I didn't laugh because these kids didn't know they were wrong, but I laughed because looking back as adults, we always see limitations, but our kids will always see opportunities. Isn't that right? Yes. If I showed you, like, even asked all the adults here, if I gave you like 1,000,000 shillings, what would you with it? What would you do with it? You will take a pause. But the kids will always have an answer immediately. So looking at that scenario there, let's continue nurturing that curious mind and that opportunistic mindset of our children. Because, like I look at this economist global Nobel Prize winner, James Heckman, and I think that one I'll have to read his statement here. Um, but just bear with me so that at least I can read what James Heckman said. Yeah. These are his words. So the Nobel Prize winning economist James Heckman found that investing in quality early childhood development produces some of the highest long-term returns for society through better education, higher earnings, and healthier lives. What does that mean? As we continue nurturing these little ones, these are our tomorrow, right? The future belongs to them, right? But if we continue nurturing their mindset, this shows that the society might be a better place. Do you attest to that? Do you agree with that? Yeah. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
If only I knew some of the names, I would be pointing out and asking them. But before I wind up, yeah, when I look at our kids, I will say like they're like our little seeds. In one of the book series that I've written for the kids, I use Tendo. So Tendo is this curious boy. And Tendo and Ayana go outside to try and grow some trees, yeah? It's the mango tree, that's why they cover page. But the side of it is they're trying to know whether coins can grow. The curiosity of growing coins. So the book is basically about saving and how when you save what happens to that. And when I look, the way they are planting the seeds, yeah? So the more you put, the first time you might not see anything because like it's planting like a mango tree. When you put that tree, when you put the seed on the soil, it will not do anything, right? A week later, nothing yet. Then maybe a month later, you just start seeing something popping. But it takes a bit of time for you to start seeing that tree growing. The same goes to our kids. If we look at them, they are our little seeds. Right now, it's the point where we are pouring water to them, nurturing them. But we are not yet seeing their fruits. And 20 years later is when now we will start seeing the fruits. When now we start seeing, yeah, my son is becoming a doctor, yeah, my daughter is becoming a pilot. Those are the fruits. But it takes a bit of time. So parents, to all of you, thank you so much for nurturing them, for continuing pouring water on them. Yes, a round of applause to that. And sometimes, as much as we are pouring water and nurturing them, let's also not compare the growth. One child might grow and sprout very fast. The other one might take a bit of time. So it's all of us to know when to continue nurturing them without really judging them. And now to our teachers. You're doing one of the most noble professions. Completely, this is a noble profession. Because you enjoy, like you learn, and you're so victorious to see moments where the world cannot be able to see. What do I mean by this? You're able to see a shy girl smiling. You are able to see the first time a child is able to dribble and at least color and paint something. You are able to see the first time a child is coming to the stage and doing a beautiful speech. You are able to see a child start, like those ones who are so young, we bring them with diapers, learn how to go to the toilet. You are able to see a child being able to express themselves, yet they came without knowing how to express themselves. And honestly, like I say, that is a very noble profession. And we cannot thank you enough. But I will request parents, please let's stand up. Right now, I won't say aloud over, we don't, just let's stand up and we face our teachers, wherever they are. And this is what I want us to do. You remember the way we used to do back in our days after doing a poem, we say, thank you. Yes, that's how I want us to do it. All of us together. Thank you. Yeah, we are so grateful to you. And now we can sit down as we do a clap for them. When I sit back, like I've said, I have 3 kids, yeah? Children often learn about things. Who can attest, like 90% of the time, they don't even listen to our lectures, right? They don't. We will yap and yap and yap, and 90% of the time, they are not listening. But they will always be very observant. And they learn from how and what we do. And I'll give a practical example. I keep on telling my kids, be patient. No, it will be done. I say, be patient, you know? But sometimes I think like I'm trying to tell them to be patient and they're not listening, but they're observing. So one of these days I was driving and so there was a huge snarl up and cars were just all over and I was getting frustrated. And you know the way we are driving and there's that commotion and so you're talking to yourself in the car and they're there listening and looking at you. And so my daughter looked at me and asked me, hey, mommy, be patient. And so it dawns on me like, wow, those are my words. And so often we find our kids, they don't listen, but they will always do what they are saying. They will look at us, how we are solving conflicts. So as parents, you need to sit down and ask yourself, what is my child really observing? Like I said, I'm more into finance and investment, so I'll talk about that. When we talk about money, we need to ask ourselves, what are we teaching about? What are we teaching our kids about money? Do you do your budgeting with your kids? Are they learning at an early age? Because 90% from statistics shows that from the age of 5 years to 7 years, that's where their money mindsets start forming. And that one is how they will grow up to become adults. How many of us who know our money personalities? How many of us who know like our money personalities? You can be a saver, a spender, an avoider, an investor, a planner. Some of those, yeah. Hi. You know your money personality? Tell me. As the sharp boy comes, like I said, remember when I said kids don't shy away from opportunities. Adults will always limit themselves. Hello, what's your name?
I think I am an investor.
Why do you say that?
Because personally, I hate having little amounts of money, and I always think about how I can grow that money. So I think I'm just an investor.
Everyone, clap for Liam. You can now imagine having such a mindset from that age all the way to being adults. Will they make the many money mistakes that we have done as adults?
No.
Will they?
No.
They will not. Because we are nurturing that mindset. So as an adult, as seated there, ask yourself, what is my child learning from me? It can be about money, it can be about leadership, it can be about everything. And finally, to our little graduates, hello. Hi. Hello. I want to leave you with 4 things. Say 4 things. So even if you don't remember all the 4, at least remember 3, okay? But I would want you to remember the 4 things. And your mommy and daddy seated here should remind you. Number 1, always ask questions. Number 1 is?
Always ask questions.
Always ask questions. Because out of asking the many questions is how we continue to learn, okay? So that, you see all the people that have done big things, inventing electricity, inventing the big brothers, inventing aeroplanes, they always ask a lot of questions. Number 2, what did I say number 1 was?
Ask questions.
Always ask questions. Number 2, always be kind, okay? Being clever is good, but kindness is even
Better.
And number 3, never shy away from making mistakes. Number 3 is never shy away from making
Mistakes.
mistakes. You see the way you admire, you see mommy and daddy as being heroes and heroines. And all those people you admire, they have done big things. They have made a lot of mistakes. So out of making the mistakes is how we learn. So when you go to primary, please don't fear making mistakes.